Hey everyone, I'm Dennis.
Wait. No skit?
No. Tom Cruise gets everything. He gets no skip from us.
Okay.
Let's start the show. Hey everyone, I'm Dennis Stack.
And I'm Nate Fischer.
And we are Cinema Buffs, bringing you our review of Jack Reacher, Never Go Back.
I'm gonna kill you all.
Before we get the review, once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Cinema Buffs. We always appreciate all the support. So before the review, let's talk about Tom Cruise a little bit and how we feel about Tom Cruise. What do you think? Are you a fan?
Yeah, I am a Tom Cruise fan. I mean, outside of how this guy acts when he's off camera. Yeah, he's a little wacky, but I mean, this guy just makes good movies, quality movies continually.
Yeah.
And surprisingly at some points, I remember with the first Jack Reacher movie.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to it.
No, and I just thought whatever, just looks like run-of-the-mill action, and it's just Tom Cruise, being another action movie.
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised. It was actually a pretty decently made movie. But what do you feel about Tom Cruise in the first Jack Reacher?
I do like Tom Cruise, and most of his work I've enjoyed, and some really, really standout performances of his. Definitely Magnolia and even Jerry Maguire or Born on the 4th of July. The first Jack Reacher, just like you, I was pretty surprised by it. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. I was really entertained.
And here we have Tom Cruise, and actually this is the first sequel he's made that isn't a Mission Impossible sequel.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah. So now he's back with Jack Reacher. And so Nate, what did you think about it?
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about how, we really need to do a stinker review. And for me, PU on this one. This was hard to watch. It was really, all in all, bad editing. Bad action. There wasn't even any action. There wasn't even a chase scene. In the fast car scene, they weren't even chasing anyone. They were just trying to get someplace fast.
Right.
It just, for me, I hated watching this movie. What about you?
I did not enjoy this movie as well. I think that this movie is just loaded with cliches. There's the female lead who's a possible love interest, but let's not make her the damsel in distress. Let's make her the badass.
Yeah.
And then let's throw a kid,
a daughter
into
it.
Right. And then everything from the guy who starts the investigation is the one who is the culprit to there's the big hulking military guy who's making all these wants to know everything, all these crazy demands. I want to know where he's been, who he's talking to, who his favorite Power Ranger is, blah, blah, blah. That crazy stuff, and it's just so much cliche.
You can tell. Right. They weren't trying to mock anything. They actually were just thinking this would be good.
No, it wasn't tongue-in-cheek at all or anything like that. They weren't, being meta and poking fun at themselves. No, they went with this. Somebody wrote this script and yep, let's go and shoot it.
And it really, no consequence for anything. They are on the run from the army, from the police. They should be jailed for what they're supposedly, what they're accused of doing. And they're just getting away with things. They're escaping situations by being let's hop on the bus. Boom, we're out. Everything was so convenient for them to be let's get in a cab. Let's get on a bus. Let's get on another bus. They never seemed to be in trouble, ever.
No. And I mean, you're right about the action. It's few and far between, and it's lackluster. And I expected more out of that department, considering this was directed by Edward Zwick. He directed The Last Samurai, Glory. Those movies have great battle scenes, great action in them. So I expected more out of it.
I expected more out of Tom Cruise and his stunt work.
Yeah, and as far as Tom Cruise, with the first Jack Reacher, there were some good fight scenes. There was a sweet car chase.
Yeah.
The shootout scenes were awesome too.
And with the first Jack Reacher, the trailer was oh, here it is, trying to pin Tom Cruise as a badass again. But in the first Jack Reacher, he did come across as a badass to a certain extent. And in this, he didn't. He's old. Tom Cruise can't do shirtless scenes anymore. He can't. His face looks all clay-like. I don't know. It's really... I just hated looking at him, and he just brought nothing. If there was any redeeming factors to this movie, what would they be? If any?
I can't really think of any, because everything was just so bland and cliche. I mean, the acting isn't terrible or anything like that, but it's not great. It's just standard. Everything about this movie is run-of-the-mill, paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Just throwing every cliche and trope in the book.
Even taking things from bad movies. There's a scene where he knocks a guy out in the seat in an airplane, and I'm like, is no one noticing that he just beat the hell out of a guy in a seat in Coach?
Right, and then he goes and beats the hell out of a guy in the bathroom.
In the bathroom. No one seems to notice about that either. And I'm like, this is like straight out of Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
And I get it at that because it's ridiculous and it's supposed to be.
It's tongue-in-cheek.
There's no excuse for this one.
Okay, I got one tiny redeeming factor.
Okay.
After they fall off the ledge and they fight, it's a little realistic. Like, they just fell off a cliff instead of just like the dirt off their shoulders.
Yeah, they're sort of struggling
like,
through
yeah.
it.
That was a little different.
Another word of advice for you, just in case you do, for some reason, decide to see this movie, don't waste your money on IMAX. We had to see the 7 o'clock show. We didn't realize it was IMAX, so we're like, we'll just watch IMAX. There is nothing visually spectacular about this movie whatsoever.
No, it's Tom Cruise, and that's why I got put in IMAX.
That's why, because he needs his head to be bigger than it already is.
Buffs.
Okay, well, so here we had a review where we royally disliked this movie. I haven't, since Ghostbusters have I not liked a movie so bad. So, Dennis, just let's score it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really to write home about this movie. I can't even recommend you rent it when it comes out, on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to go pretty low. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 10.
Okay. I'm going a slightly lower. I'm going 3.
Wow, I thought I was being harsh.
I really about maybe a third into this movie. I'm like, okay, it could redeem itself. There might be some good things coming up. No, not one good thing.
No.
Do not see this movie. It's bad. 3 out of 10.
Yeah. Hope you do better at Mission Impossible 6, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, seriously.
Buffs.
All right, so that's our review. What did you all think of Jack Reacher? Never Go Back if you actually happen to see it. Leave all your comments below. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Next week, we will not be bringing you a review, actually. What are we going to be bringing them, Dennis?
Yeah, actually, we're going to do something special for Halloween next week. Nate and I are going to go face-to-face on our scary movie trivia as we bring you the Cinema Buffs Spooktacular Showdown.
That's right.
So we'll see you next week, but don't forget,
there's no place like the theater.